Welcome to Network TV. I'm your host, David Mabey. For the past 23 years, NCW Tech Alliance has been honoring and celebrating innovation throughout the region. This season of Network TV is a particularly special as we highlight some of the remarkable innovators in North Central Washington. From the lively classrooms of our K-12 schools to the state-of-the-art labs in our colleges and the energetic startups and established tech companies, this region is a beacon of creativity and innovation. Our first guest is Odin Finsen, a current student at Gonzaga University. Odin has demonstrated significant talent and leadership in robotics, being a key member of the Orville High School robotics team, which won multiple awards, including the Tournament Championship, Engineering Excellence, and Hybrid Round winner. Odin himself received the Outstanding Roboteer Award. His academic excellence is evident as he was the valedictorian of his class and received numerous scholarships and awards, including the prestigious Glover Cup. Odin's involvement in community-based projects such as the Haiti Plastic Waste Challenge showcases his commitment to using STEM to address real-world problems. His innovative thinking and problem-solving skills are truly inspiring. Additionally, Odin has shown strong leadership abilities in both academic pursuits and extracurricular activities, highlighting his potential as a future leader in STEM. In our second segment, we will feature Quincy High School student Maya Cavazos. Maya will be joined by her computer science teacher, Mr. Ross Kondo, who has been a significant influence in her STEM journey. Maya is a bright young mind with a promising future in the CS industry. According to Mark, in his 9 years of teaching, he has not encountered a student who approaches projects with such creativity, organization, and mathematical grounding. Maya consistently exceeds expectations, demonstrating a commitment to excellence and a willingness to assist others. Maya's dedication extends beyond the classroom. She volunteers at local STEM and tech nights, showcasing her commitment to serving the community. Her organizational skills and proficiency in writing strong code ensure the consistent delivery of high-quality work. As a student in the introductory to CS class, Maya created an exceptional final project, an arcade featuring 3 unique mathematical games, which has become a highlight at community and technology events. She has gone on to be the leader in the AP Computer Science course and serves as a Technology Students Association Secretary at Quincy High School. Maya is an aspiring individual who excels in her studies and leadership roles despite being one of the few female students in the computer science class. She balances her academic commitments with volunteering and supporting her family, making her a truly admirable student. Stay tuned as we dive into the stories of these incredible young innovators and their inspiring journeys in STEM. We'll be right back here on Network TV. All right, welcome back to Network TV. I want to introduce you to Odin Finsen, who made a name for himself in high school with his robotics team and is now a current student at Gonzaga University. Odin, how are you doing this morning?
Pretty good, David. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I want to know, what is it about STEM that excites you and kind of gets you going?
I like STEM because you can take our knowledge of math and science and use it to create new inventions that change the world and make it a better place for future generations. I recently learned about the Lejeune bolt, and it has a little piece on the end that breaks off at a certain torque. So when you're sitting there putting things together, you just run it down, breaks off, and then you know it's to the spec.
Oh, wow.
So it cuts me. Most people might not know about it, but it really cuts down time on building things and just makes things easier.
Cool. So what is it that, with your STEM skills, what is it that you hope to kind of do? Do you have any idea what the future holds or what path you're kind of going towards right now with that?
I come from a rural farming town. My family owns a small orchard there. And one of our biggest problems is getting pickers in time to get all the fruit off the trees before everything gets overripe and spoiled. So one of the things I'd like to work on is creating automated cherry and plum harvesters to quickly get all the fruit off, get it to the warehouses, and get it shipped off. I'm hoping that'll help farmers make their living.
Yeah.
I would further hope it would help our food supply and fight world hunger.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're going to the robotics, and I know in high school you've won quite a few awards with your robotics team. Can you tell us a little bit about that robotics experience and kind of how that shaped maybe your thinking for what you just talked about there with helping out your family?
I joined robotics in 7th grade, and we had different competitions every year. The best year was the kind of the head guy was over in Spain and seeing just garbages on the beach, and he is just, wow, this is terrible. We can't got this beautiful beach, but it's destroyed by all this garbage. So he made a competition where we just throw garbage, all sorts of stuff, plates, bottles, forks, random assortment on a field, and then we'd have to create a robot that would sit there and pick all this up and sort it into different boxes to get then shipped off to recycled. So my team designed something that could really easily pick up all the little bottles, put it in a little bin, and then the bin raise up and dump into a bigger bin, and shipped off.
So what was some of the, I guess, the biggest challenges with working with a team there and coming up with the best process for that?
Perfect world, the bottles would be all the same shape. We don't live perfect world. They could be cut in half, they scrunch down, so it's hard to create something that would actually sit there and pick up anything and put it in the box.
Yeah.
We made little wheels that would sit there and spin and had rubber bands on them for grips that would go up to just about any bottle and grab onto it and shoot it up a conveyor belt into the box.
And now, is this one of the projects you guys won an award for?
Yes. I can't quite remember what, I think I got Best Engineer Award and then Best Driver Award.
Oh, so you were the driver of the...
Yes. I was mainly building and driving. We had another builder and then one programmer. It was only a 3-4 person team. Okay,
so did you guys know each other before this, or did the STEM and robotics bring you guys together?
We're all in the same class, but we knew of each other, but not real close friends. Through robotics, going on different trips, we went down to Ellensburg and everything, at least once a year. That really brought us together, and we're good friends.
Nice. So then, you've said that you're now at Gonzaga, and you were telling me off air that you are continuing on with your robotics process. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now in the robotics field and how it's kind of developing you more into that STEM education?
Currently, I'm in my 3rd year with the Society of Automotive Engineers, commonly called Baja SAE. We build small off-road vehicles for the ground up. We do the frame, suspension, everything except the actual engine. We're just given an engine. And we got to do a acceleration test, braking test, hill climb, rock crawl, and then a 4-hour endurance race. I'm currently a part of the drivetrain, so I don't do the motor, but everything else after that, we're going to use the CVT, driveline, axles, the wheels. I'm in charge of designing all that. I'm working on figuring out the gear ratios so that we have our highest top speed, but still enough torque to climb a hill.
Gotcha.
The big challenge is we have a 14 horsepower motor, but 500-pound car. So we don't got a lot of motor to move that much of a vehicle. So we got to do a lot of engineering, figuring out what the best gears to use.
So how big are these cars? 500 pounds sounds like a pretty big car.
I'd say just about take this whole section up.
Oh, okay.
So it's
a pretty big car.
Yeah. Plus you got to fit a person inside of it to...
Oh, so this is an actual
car. It's a full car that you drive, and we're also working on, I believe, a tachometer, speedometer, kind of more the electronic side.
Cool. So what kind of technology are you using to create, like you said, you're working with the gears and the ratios. Are you creating those from scratch, or what kind of technology are you using in that development process?
Yes. SolidWorks, doing a lot of SolidWorks, just sitting there designing things. And then we use MATLAB for more of the coding side and kind of a calculator.
Yeah.
And then I'm talking with one of the professors that does I think a vehicle dynamics class, and he gave me a bunch of equations and everything. Given if you want this speed, this is what your ratios need to be. If you want to climb this hill, this is how much torque you need.
Great. So you're using a lot of. It sounds like you're using a lot of all the different sections from STEM.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Engineering. What is your favorite part about that then? Is it? Do you like more of the engineering, or is it the mathematics, or what kind of really gets you going when you're doing this stuff?
I think I definitely like the engineering more. I just find it really, really fascinating. what we can do with what we know about the world, like the Lejeune bolt, or another thing I found really interesting, expansion joints and bridges. It's just things heat up and they need to expand, so it's a really crucial part. It's simple, but
Right.
the only reason we have bridges.
Yeah, that's incredible. So for you in the future, do you have any idea, or right now, and you're thinking, I know this could probably change, but what would success look like for you in your first job, or down the line? What would be like your ultimate vision of like success for you?
I define success more the will to not give up. My first semester in college, I had Physics 1, and with a tough professor. The first exam I got a 36 on, and a projected grade of an F, but I just buckled down, started going to help sessions, office hours, and doing a lot of practice problems late nights, and got an 86 on the exam before the test, or the final. I don't know what I got on the final, but I got a B for the class.
Nice.
So in my mind, just the fact that I tried hard, I was successful.
Right. Well, I guess that comes with engineering too. You got to continually fail and improve and continue on with that progress. Otherwise, that's awesome. So you're from a small town, Orville, and you're moved to Spokane to go to Gonzaga. What's that transition been like for you, and how did you use? Has STEM helped you with that transition and meeting people, or how's that transition been for you?
It wasn't as hard as I would have thought. Gonzaga is actually a fairly small school at 7,000 people. They always say it's both a big school and a small school. There's enough people that you always meet someone new, but there's also always someone you're gonna, hey, what's up, how's it going, you already know. A lot of my friends are in the STEM field, between Baja and just seeing them in classes all the time.
Cool. And so as we're wrapping up here, what would you say to an inspiring person trying to get into the STEM field or interested in any of those? What would be some like words of inspiration that you could give to somebody that might be interested in this field?
No one's perfect. No one ever knows what they're doing. You just gotta try, and you can always learn.
Perfect. Well, Odin, as you can see, our time ran out really fast here. Thank you for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you soon. We'll be right back here on Network TV. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I'd like to introduce you to Maya Cavazos. Is that right? Am I butchering?
Maya Cavazos.
Maya Cavazos, got that one right. A student at Quincy High School whose dedication extends beyond the classroom, and her computer science teacher, Mr. Ross Kondo. Welcome to Network, guys. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Doing good?
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you for coming out. Maya, I want to know, how did you get into computer science, and what excites you about it?
During my 8th grade year, we got a form where we get to choose our classes, and there was a class called Digital Tools. At first, I had no idea what it was about, but I talked to my brother, and he said it was a pretty good class, so I took it. And it was with Mr. Kondo here, and it got me like one foot in the door into STEM.
And after that one foot in the door, I guess, what about the computer science program? What was that spark in the classroom that you were like, oh, this is a fun avenue to go through? What was that?
I guess it was just being able to create whatever I wanted, and like being able to plan and then see the outcome. That was really rewarding.
Yeah, you guys have an amazing classroom down there in Quincy. So, Ross, how do you structure your classes to try to inspire kids to do things that they're not used to doing?
So we are very career-based, and so we try to paint a really clear picture on, hey, these are your opportunities, and then we kind of ask students, all right, what are your interests and what are your skills that you might have or that you're willing to build? And so they can kind of, there's a lot of directions that they can choose that fit them to find a career. So.
Very cool. So, Maya, on this direction, what inspired you for your arcade project in this class? So tell us a little bit about the arcade project and what inspired that.
Before it was just a game project where we get to create one game, and before that, we created Hangman. And so I realized I have Hangman right now, I can make an arcade. So I made a game called Cows and Bulls, where it's just 4 digits. It's kind of like Wordle, where you have the right digits in the right spot and the wrong digits, or the right digits in the wrong spot. And then next after that, it was Mastermind, where you get to like break a code and you get like a fake little diamond. Yeah.
You make it sound very easy, but
It
so
wasn't.
what was some of the biggest challenges you faced while creating this game?
For cows and bulls, it was really hard to be able to output to the player what was in the wrong spot. And so for that, I had to just take a break, step back, and look online because the internet's like the best resource we have. Yeah.
Besides your teacher.
Besides the teacher.
That's right.
So Ross, what impressed you about this? What impressed you about her, Maya, figuring out this game, and how did you help her along the way, or did you help her, and what kind of strategies did you use to help her learn how to do this?
So that's funny because Maya, she's an extremely hard worker, but extremely intelligent also. So Maya she was always ahead of the class. And so I think that is totally right. She is a problem solver. She'll use the internet to solve her problems. So I would just support her, challenge her, like, hey, have you thought about this? But the other thing Maya didn't say is that the arcade, for everybody else, that was a single game project. But Maya, of course, went above and beyond and turned it into 3 games. So when she says it's an arcade, that wasn't the assignment. She is just super awesome and took it there herself.
And then what do you play this game on? So how did you, what kind of technology did you use to create it? And then what was it on that you got to play it on?
We just did it in class on our computers, but we have a program called Replit, and we had to code it in Python. But it's a nice, simpler language rather than Java, which we're learning the year after. Didn't have fun with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're saying nice coding language, but to a lot of people out there, they probably have no idea what that is. So you're a step ahead, and that's a testament to the Quincy School District and everything they're providing for you guys. Ross, what else caught your eye about the things that Maya was trying to do, and how did you, and other students too, how do you try to take that spark you see and push them to something they may not think they want to do or even understand?
Yeah, Maya's a perfect example of that. So just Maya, the way she works, she's very creative. And so some people, when they talk about computer science, they think it's just like, coding behind a computer, really boring. But Maya really brings creativity to it. However, she's also mathematically brained, which I guess for most people, it's not as common. Like Maya, the way she coded and her creativity was kind of like the first time I had seen that in a student. And so it was interesting to see her projects. She had created a lot of projects that I hadn't seen, not different projects, but just the way she coded them was unique. And it was interesting to see these different styles of code. And so it was fun just to be able to challenge kids and encourage them in their natural interests or the way that they work and that creativity. And I mean, coding, you can write the same code many different ways. And so it's neat to encourage kids that way.
Yeah, so Maya, I want to know, kind of get inside your brain. Yeah. How do you see, what was your steps in seeing the game? Are you like, I'm a very visual person, so did you have to draw it out? Or do you start turning the wheels inside your head and trying to come up with the calculations? What's kind of that thought process that got the game from thoughts to the computer?
Well, at first I had to make kind of like a blueprint. We have it's something with the double slashes where it's basically invisible code. Like it doesn't run anything, it's just for the programmer. And I get to plan each step, like what I want. And after I chose, I want these 3 games, I need to go into each step and create even more steps and more steps under those steps. That's basically my whole process.
Okay, so do you enjoy that part? It seems the way you're kind of giggling, like that gets you going. Is that what you enjoy? Is like figuring out all these steps and how to break them down?
For sure. I hate actually doing it, but being able to see at the end makes it all worth it.
Okay.
There's another superpower of Maya. She's extremely organized. Is another unique key that we don't see that in a lot of students. So her planning with all that
sounds like very organized in the head, and probably has to also be very organized on paper. So I also read that you're motivated to volunteer at local STEM and tech nights. What inspires you to help out with that, and what do you try to get out of those, or what does it do for you personally?
At first, I wasn't very interested in it. Why be there when I could just be home? But one day we didn't have enough volunteers, so I came, and it was just rewarding to be able to see all these kids. I mean, they weren't doing crazy stuff, but they were having fun. All their smiles, all their laughs, that's all the motivation I needed.
And is this something, Ross, that you set up, or what are the tech and STEM nights?
Yeah, so each year we do an hour of code event, and we usually try to give back to the community with that. So each year we do a video game night for the youth in our community, and then we also do just a STEM night. And so our high school students show up, and they get to help the kids, just try out different activities. So that's one thing we usually do. We've also started a bows and bots and a tech and tiaras event, so to get young girls involved. And so Maya has been a key role in delivering that to our middle school students to try to recruit them.
Nice. So a little ambassador here going.
Yes. Yep.
So Maya, what would like success look like for you at the end of high school? Do you have a project in mind you want to finish, or what is it kind of your vision of success for the STEM education so far and finishing high school and maybe where you want to go beyond?
Yeah. For now, what I want to be able to merge like both STEM and healthcare together. At the end of the day, I would love to help others with that little part of STEM inside of it. So something like a radiologist or anything just involving those two. I don't have any project I'm working on at the moment,
Okay.
thankfully for my time. But
Yeah. Cool. And then Ross, do you have any anything coming up for the students to get involved with, or is there any other projects you guys are working on or that going to get involved with the class this year for these guys?
So the NCW Career Connected Learning is a major partner, as well as NCW Tech. They have the big computer science fair coming up October 17th, and then also the Career in College Expo coming up also at Big Bend and Wenatchee Valley College. So those are our big things. Hour of Code is in December, so we'll be hosting those community events also. And then in the spring, we also do our bows and bots for our middle school. So
nice. And Maya, are you going to the CS Fair and Career Connected?
Yes.
What are you most excited about seeing there or learning at those?
It's really nice to be able to see like all these different careers and all different pathways that a lot of people can take. And also the freebies. I always love the bands.
The freebies, the swag.
Yeah.
As we're wrapping up here, I want to know, what advice do you have for young women out there who may not know what STEM is or might be interested in getting into STEM? Like any words of encouragement or anything you could say to them just to get them involved?
For sure to never give up. I mean, like, especially for me, it was always easy to be discouraged. But it's good to just take a step back, take a breather. And if you need to talk to someone, get another resource, then take it. It never does any harm.
It never does any harm. Yeah. You have to fail a lot to succeed.
Exactly.
Odin was just on before you, and he said the same sort of thing. Yeah. He had to learn that failure is okay and to move on from there and learn from it.
Exactly.
Well, this was amazing. I want to thank you, Ross and Maya, for coming in from Quincy High School. I hope you stay tuned. I hope you were inspired. If you're a little girl out there or boy and you want to know more about STEM education, there's programs all over from Wenatchee to Quincy. Whatever district you're in, there's something out there for you. So that's going to do it for this episode of Network TV. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next week.